What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTK, aka Josh Too Cool, and welcome back to another video. Now, I know I said I wanted my next video to be an IRL, and I wouldn't be surprised if you guys thought my next video wasn't gonna be an IRL. I was supposed to record an IRL today. I had one scheduled, but one of my buddies said I was supposed to 1v1. He said he had work today and he couldn't do the 1v1. I was like, okay, how about Saturday? And then I remembered we have visitors coming tomorrow, which is Saturday. So we don't know when we can do the 1v1. We're hoping Sunday. So yeah, that's I was kind of a bummer, and I don't have another opponent that's on a wait list. But if you do want to 1v1 me, let me know. I don't live in America, I live in Canada. But let me know if you want to 1v1. I always have did I leave my Instagram in the bio last time? I'm not sure, but I will leave my Instagram in the description below. So make sure to go follow my Instagram and DM me if you want to 1v1. But today I decided to do a very special video. Now I have the matchups memorized in my head. I think I was supposed to write them down and I forgot. But yeah. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, I didn't get a bad haircut. Don't worry. It's just my hair looks really bad right now. And I wasn't trying to, do a whole video with my hair looking like that. So, and by the way, I'm not really an Arsenal fan. I just had this shirt. Yeah, I needed to change my shirt because I looked like a hobo just now. So I had to change my shirt, and this was the first shirt I found. I'm not an Arsenal fan though. I don't even watch soccer like that. I just see the scores for the UEFA Champions League and stuff. But anyway, to the point of this video, I am going to be making my predictions for the 2020 NBA playoffs. Now, the play-in game for the Grizzlies versus the Trailblazers is tomorrow. My prediction is the Trailblazers will win that tomorrow. It's not going to go to Sunday. My prediction is that the Trailblazers are going to beat the Grizzlies. But even if they don't, if the Grizzlies make an upset, I'll do both scenarios. So I'll do a scenario if the Grizzlies were to make the playoffs and if the Trailblazers were to make the playoffs, because anything can happen in the NBA. But anyway, so we're going to start off on the Eastern Conference just because it's easier, easier matchups, easier to process. So we're going to go to the first matchup, which is the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic. I don't even think the Magic have Aaron Gordon. So this is an easy sweep for Milwaukee. No one on the Orlando Magic can stop Giannis. No, probably not even Chris Middleton. And if you do try and contain Giannis, you can kick it out to Middleton, hit a three. Then you have Bledsoe, who's getting back into the groove of playing. Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks are just overpowered compared to the Orlando Magic. It's an easy sweep, without a doubt. Next game, we have the Indiana Pacers versus the Miami Heat. I know I keep looking here, it looks like there's a list there, but it's not. there's nothing there. It's just like a keyboard there. But I just have these memorized in my head. The Indiana Pacers versus the Miami Heat. Now, this is gonna be a fun series. T.J. Warren versus Jimmy Butler again, and we get to see it in a 7-game series. I can't wait. I love seeing these two guys go head to head, and it's very fun seeing them play against each other. But when you think about the teams, I have the Miami Heat winning, and I'll say I have the Miami Heat winning in 6 games. I'll give them 6 games. Indiana Pacers, I would give Indiana this series if Oladipo wasn't 100%, because I know he's playing, but he's not 100%. He's not playing like the All-Star that we know he is. If Domantas I was almost about to say Sabonis, because Um, I've been watching too much Flight. um, but if Domantas Sabonis was playing, Oladipo was 100%, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If those two were good, and those two were playing, because those are two all stars. Those are key players that you need on your team. I know it's only two players, and I know one of them is playing right now, but he's not 100%. Everyone who watches basketball knows Victor Oladipo is not 100% right now. And if he was 100%, he would be playing much more like an all-star, or the all-star that we know he is. So I have Miami Heat winning in 6 games. I say 6 games because I'm not saying Indiana's a bad team, because they're not. If they were a bad team, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. And it's not just solely on Domantas Sabonis. They have a good all-around team. Obviously, you have T.J. Warren, who's the first game I saw of him in the bubble was 53 points, and it was 36. He's just been going off. T.J. Warren is an amazing player. I didn't even really. Well, I knew who he was, but I didn't really concentrate on him until the bubble started, and I'm sure that was with a lot of people. So, yeah, but I still got Miami winning in 6 games, just because Indiana's a good team. They're gonna take them to 6 games, but I don't see anyone. I mean, especially you got Bam Adebayo in the paint, like it's gonna be hard to contain him. And you got Jimmy Butler, an all-around player. You got Tyler Herro coming off the bench. Jay Crowder, a good veteran there. Yeah, they just got a good all-around team, to be honest. And I don't see the Indiana Pacers beating the Miami Heat. Then we have was there another game? I know there's that series, and then so we got the 1-8. We got the 3. No, we don't. Oh yes, there's 2 more. Yeah. Okay, the 3-6. Boston versus Philadelphia. I got Boston, and I would take Philadelphia. I would, but Ben Simmons is out. And I know I just said it's not solely on one player, but in this case, Ben Simmons is, how can I put it? Ben Simmons is the soul of the team. And I know a lot of people will say it's Joel Embiid, but without Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid they can't win if they don't have the other player. Joel Embiid's probably the best center in the league when healthy, without a doubt. But Boston is just, their team is too good right now. You have 4 stars that people still are sleeping on. You have Kemba Walker, you have Jason Tatum, you have Gordon Hayward, and Jaylen Brown. Those are 4 stars, 4 all-stars right there that you should not be sleeping on. You leave Jaylen Brown open, he's going to knock it down. You leave Jason Tatum open, even if you guard Jason Tatum, he's still going to make it. Gordon Hayward, if you leave him open, he's going to make it. We know what Kemba Walker can do when he's 100%. And he's definitely getting there. I don't think he's 100% yet because he had that knee injury, I think it was. But he is getting there. And we know what he can do when he's 100%. So those 4 guys are going to be nearly unstoppable for the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't see anybody stopping those 4 guys. I mean, obviously you can make the argument that Sixers have Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, those guys, but I don't see them stopping the Boston Celtics. I'll take Boston Celtics, and I'll take them in 5 games. Boston Celtics in 5 games. It could be a chance that Philadelphia could take them at 6, but I just don't see it. I think Joel Embiid could have that one game where he just goes off, because I can definitely see Joel Embiid dropping a 30-piece any night. But yeah, I think Joel Embiid could have one of those nights, or it could be Tobias Harris for all we know. But it's not going to be a sweep. It's at least going to go 5 games maximum. And Boston's going to advance to the second round. Now we have the 2 seed versus the 7 seed, the Toronto Raptors versus the Brooklyn Nets. Now, let me clear the air about something right now. Now, last year, I wasn't really doing YouTube last year because I was, on a break. But a lot of people think I hate the Toronto Raptors because last year I chose the Warriors to beat the Toronto Raptors, and then years before, because I'm a LeBron fan, like a big time LeBron fan. I have two of his Lakers jerseys, his Cleveland jersey, and I just don't have his Miami jersey. I have his shoes over there, and yeah, I'm a huge LeBron fan. And um, years before that, they versed LeBron versus Toronto, and obviously I went for LeBron all the time. I was like, oh yeah, LeBron destroyed Toronto, and all that. So everyone is under the assumption that I hate Toronto, and I'm from Canada. I don't hate Toronto. Like, they're not my rival team. My rival team is the Clippers right now because I'm a Lakers fan. But I don't hate Toronto, so I'm just clearing the air about that. I think Toronto is a slept-on team, especially this year. I slept on them. I'm not gonna lie. I slept on the Toronto Raptors this year. I didn't think they could be this good without Kawhi, but yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna get to this series now. Toronto Raptors versus the Brooklyn Nets. It's gonna be a sweep. I'm joking. The Toronto Raptors are gonna beat the Brooklyn Nets 4-0. I mean, all the Brooklyn Nets have right now is Karis LeVert. I mean, it's a accomplishment that the Brooklyn Nets made it to the playoffs without KD, Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie Irving. Like, it's crazy that they made it without all those guys. And I know you can make the argument that you still have Jared Allen, but the way the Raptors are playing, it's not going to make a difference. It's going to be a sweep. Toronto's going to beat the Brooklyn Nets 4-0 in the first round and advancing to play the Boston Celtics in the second round. Now we're going to move on to the West. Now, the Western Conference is where people might get heated at me. And I don't, like, you could have your own opinion. Like, this is strictly what this video is, my opinion, my predictions. So, I mean, if you have a problem with it, then, I mean, you could argue, like, you could debate. Like, I'm down to debate with anybody. But if you take it personal, then I'm not going to debate with you because I just don't have time for that. But anyway, the Western Conference. So we're going to start off with the Lakers. So we don't know who they're playing yet. It's most likely going to be the Trailblazers. But I'll do both scenarios. So if they were to play the Grizzlies, the Lakers versus Grizzlies, I would say at least 5. I mean, I would say a sweep. I would say the Lakers would sweep them. But we're being realistic here. I don't want to be biased in this. I'm going off, like, teams. Like, this is not me being biased. Obviously, as a Lakers fan, obviously I want the Lakers to win. But right now, I'm being, like, straight up. I want the Lakers to sweep anybody, like everybody. I want the Lakers to go undefeated. That's just not going to happen. That's not how it's going to be. The Lakers against the Grizzlies, I could see them sweeping them for sure. But I have a feeling, just a slight feeling, Ja Morant could have that one game. And there's a lot of players that could just have that one game that'll give their team that one game in the series. But I definitely could see LeBron and the Lakers sweeping the Grizzlies. But I have a feeling that if they were to verse the Grizzlies, it would at least maybe go to 5. But I don't know. Like, it would most likely be a sweep just because they don't have Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson probably their second best player, and then they have. I mean, you could say they have Valanciunas, but Valanciunas against Anthony Davis, and then you have JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and those are just big guys that can handle Valanciunas pretty well. Yeah, you know what? Now that I've actually explained it, I would take Lakers in a 4-0 sweep. Yeah, Lakers 4-0 for sure against the Grizzlies. Now Damian Lillard's my second favorite player in the league. Portland is my second favorite team in the league as well. So when these two teams verse, it's like okay, I want to see Portland in the playoffs, but I'm scared of Damian Lillard because I'm a LeBron fan. Like, LeBron's my first favorite player in the league, number one. And I am scared of Damian Lillard. But when you really think about it, the Trailblazers defense is terrible. Like, that's no offense, but it is terrible. The Trailblazers defense cannot play defense. Like, it's not the greatest defense. And then you have the Lakers that could play defense. You have Anthony Davis, JaVale in the paint, or Anthony Davis and Dwight, or JaVale and Dwight, whatever. And then you have LeBron, who could play defense now. I mean, I know years before he wasn't playing defense, but LeBron could play defense. And you also have, now we're getting Rajon Rondo back. Rajon Rondo back, and he's also a good defender, good veteran there. He can make open shots, and yeah, the Lakers are just gonna they're gonna really take it to the Portland Trailblazers. I will say 6 games though. I will say 6 games. I'm not gonna say 5 games like the Grizzlies. I will say Lakers will win in 6 games. They're not gonna sweep Portland because Damian Lillard, the way this guy's been playing, is just amazing. Definitely the bubble MVP. No one else is gonna compete with him for that. For sure. He's the second only player to have, what was it, 3 61-point games in one season? It was something like that. I don't know. I can't remember right now. But, yeah. Damian Lillard's going to give them a hard time. And you also have CJ McCollum there. Dame and CJ, probably the best backcourt when Curry and Clay's not here. So, right now in the league, they are the best backcourt. Damian Lillard, the second best shooter in the league, without a doubt. And the best in the league when Curry's not healthy. So that's pretty much what I think. I have the Lakers beating the Trailblazers in 6 games. Now we have we have the 4 and 5, right? We'll go with the 4 and 5. It's OKC versus the Rockets. Now, people are not going to be happy with me. My prediction for this series, the Rockets versus OKC. I have OKC upsetting the Houston Rockets in 7 games. Now, this is why. Russell Westbrook's going to be out for a few games in the first round. We just received that news that he's going to be out for the first few games in the first round. And that's going to be a problem. James Harden has a history of not showing up in the playoffs. He has a history of disappearing in the playoffs. And we all know that. All basketball fans know James Harden doesn't play in the playoffs, pretty much. And when Harden's without Westbrook, I don't see the Houston Rockets winning. When Westbrook's without Harden, I don't see the Houston Rockets winning. So Westbrook could come back and show up, but if no one else on the Houston Rockets shows up, what's going to happen? Because on the other hand, I know a lot of people are going to say Chris Paul is old, but he is not washed up. He is old, but he's not washed up. The way this guy's still been playing is amazing. The way he's put OKC on his back is amazing. Also, you have young talent like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That was definitely a W for OKC to get him in that trade. You also have Steven Adams, who's going to annihilate PJ Tucker in the paint. Like, come on. Like, the strength of Steven Adams, the height. Like, come on. You're going to have to do something to help him. Even if you bring a double, triple team on Steven Adams, you can kick it out to Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or those guys. Like, OKC has shooters on the team. Like, almost everybody on OKC can shoot the ball. Andre Robertson's getting a jump shot now. Yeah, but he's barely playing because he's now recovering from an injury. I don't know if he's going to play in the playoffs. But, yeah, you got players that can shoot the ball on OKC. Then again, you have Steven Adams, who's going to just punish PJ Tucker in the paint. But I'm not gonna say like it's not gonna be a sweep or 5. It's gonna go to 6 games. Not 6. 7 games. Sorry, I almost made you guys more mad. But yeah, it's gonna go to 7 games just because Harden could have those games where he goes off. I mean, I know he has a history of disappearing in the playoffs, but then you're gonna get Russell Westbrook back eventually, and then maybe the Houston Rockets will gain some momentum, but then I would think OKC would already have that momentum going into other games, and I just feel like OKC has the tools to beat the Houston Rockets, and a lot of people are still sleeping on OKC against the Houston Rockets, and I'm done sleeping on OKC. I just have a lot of times with my predictions, I go with my gut feeling, and my gut feeling is that the OKC Thunder will beat the Houston Rockets in 7 games. And I have a really good friend who's a Russell Westbrook fan and now a Rockets fan, and he's going to be very mad at me watching this video. So, but that's okay. So I do have OKC winning in 7 games. Now, we have the 3 and 6 seed game, the Denver Nuggets versus the Utah Jazz. Now, the Denver Nuggets are an amazing team. Michael Porter Jr., my God, you guys have been sleeping on this guy. I made a TikTok. Go see my recent TikTok. My TikTok will be in the description. Go see my recent TikTok. I went off because you guys slept on Michael Porter Jr. for 8. When I saw this guy's workout before he came into the league, I'm like, this guy's going to be dangerous. This guy's going to be dangerous. He started off slow when he came into the league. People were like, yo, Josh, what are you talking about, man? Like, this guy sucks. Came into the bubble. Gone. This guy went off. This guy said, you want to sleep on me? Stay sleeping, because I'm about to wake you guys up right now. Michael Porter Jr. is an amazing talent. Definitely going to be a top star in the league in the future. For sure. And then you have Jokic at the center, who's a pretty good guy who can't dunk the ball. I'm joking. But yeah, he's a pretty good player too. Then you have Jamal Murray, my Canadian brother, who's amazing. And then you have other guys too. You have like role players. You have Paul Millsap there. But I have to go with another upset. I have to. You have Rudy Gobert, who's a former Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to lock up Jokic. He's gonna give Jokic problems. You have Mike Conley against Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray could win that matchup there, but Mike Conley is an underrated point guard. And you have Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's gonna go off for sure. Donovan Mitchell he's eliminated Russell Westbrook in the playoffs before. He knows what he's doing. And he was a rookie then. Now he's not a rookie anymore. He knows what he's doing. And Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz are going to come out and beat the Denver Nuggets in 6 games. In 6 games, they're going to beat the Denver Nuggets. They're going to upset the Denver Nuggets. And I just explained to you guys why. You have Rudy Gobert, who is going to lock up Jokic. Jokic is too soft for Gobert. Have you seen Jokic and have you seen Gobert? Compare the two right now. Pause this video, go on Google, pull up 2 pictures side by side. Jokic and Gobert. Which one looks like who's going to give another the harder time? Rudy Gobert does, right? He's a Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to give Jokic a lot of problems in the paint. Now on the perimeter, that is where Jokic is going to have the advantage. If you can run a play for Jokic to get the ball at the perimeter, get Rudy Gobert away from him, and get Jokic to shoot the ball, then that'll be a good advantage for you. But once Jokic goes in the paint, he's not getting past Gobert. Without a doubt. He's not getting past Gobert. I don't care what anyone says, he's not getting past him. So yes, I have the Utah Jazz winning this series in 6 games, and yes, I know another upset, but I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from with this explanation. I know a lot of people are going to be mad about this prediction as well, But I hope it makes sense though. I hope like I tried my best to make it make sense because Donovan Mitchell. Have you seen this kid play? He can shoot the ball now. I remember. I mean, he always was able to shoot the ball, but now he can shoot it even better. Then you have Mike Conley, who's an underrated point guard. Um, yeah, it's gonna be tough, but yeah, I got Utah winning in 6. Now the final game for the first round. This video is gonna be long. The final game for the first round, I got the Clippers versus the Mavericks. I'm gonna make these predictions more fast now. I got the Clippers winning in 5 games. Now, not Donovan Mitchell. I talked too much about him just now. Luka Doncic is gonna have one of those games. I already know he's gonna have one of those games where he's just gonna go off. No one's gonna be able to stop him. But the Clippers are just too good of a team. Defensively, they're gonna find a way to stop Luka. And then I know you have Porzingis, but I don't. I mean, he can shoot the ball. He's a really good player, but I don't see him going up against the Clippers. The Clippers defense, it's just too much for Luka Doncic and those guys. But yeah, I got the Clippers winning in 5 games, just because of the mismatch. I mean, Kawhi and Paul George. It's just gonna take them to Paul George. I know I'm stumbling on my words, but Paul George is 100% now, and that is a dangerous Paul George. When Paul George is 100%, he is dangerous. Have you seen this guy play lately? He's been dangerous. And Kawhi Leonard, we already know what he can do in the playoffs. We've seen what he can do in the playoffs. I don't even have to have an explanation for that. But yes, I have the LA Clippers beating the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games. Now the second round, we're going to go back to the East. We got the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Miami Heat. Now, I got the Milwaukee Bucks winning this in 5 games as well. Now, I know a lot of my predictions are going to 5 games, and that's because I just have these teams winning in 5 games. That's what I feel. I don't think I don't know how you're going to contain Giannis. I don't know who on the Miami Heat can contain Giannis. I mean, you have Jimmy Butler who's going to go at Giannis, but I don't know how he's going to stop him. I mean, Jimmy Butler's an amazing defensive player. I'm not taking that away from him. But then Giannis Antetokounmpo, definitely the MVP for this year. It's just going to go at him, and it's not going to be fair. Giannis Antetokounmpo is just going to take it to them. And the Milwaukee Bucks will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals in 5 games. I mean, I know you have Bam Adebayo, who's going to maybe give Brook Lopez some hard times in the paint. But then again, Giannis is the soul of that team. And you have Chris Middleton. I hope he shows up in the playoffs, because he is a very good player, but he has a history of not showing up in the playoffs as well. So, yeah, that's a thing for Chris Middleton to work on. It's just gaining that confidence to play in the playoffs. You know, that's a thing a lot of players need. But yeah, so now second game of the second round, we got the Toronto Raptors versus the Boston Celtics. Now, this may not be an upset, but for some people it may. I have the Boston Celtics winning in 6. 6 or I can't decide between 6 or 7. It's either gonna be 6 games or 7 games. I usually like to have a standard prediction, but the Toronto Raptors are a good team, but so are the Boston Celtics. I mean, let's compare it right now. The Toronto Raptors, who are their main guys, right? You have Kyle Lowry, you have Pascal Siakam, you have Fred VanVleet. I mean, Serge Ibaka, yeah, he's good. He's a good role player, I guess. I mean, he's good. Okay, that's all I can say. He's not an all-star anymore though. And then you have Marc Gasol, I know, but he's coming off the bench, and yeah, Marc Gasol he's getting too old now, and I don't think he could keep up with Boston Celtics. Now I brought this up in the Celtics first round prediction. Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward. Those are four guys that are gonna kill you. Those four guys compared to the Raptors three guys are a mismatch. Now you could lock up Jason Tatum. You could double team Jason Tatum, but then you have Kemba Walker. Oh, you're gonna double team Kemba Walker? Okay, we'll give it to Jaylen Brown. Oh, you're gonna double team Jaylen Brown? All right, we'll give it to Gordon Hayward. Oh, you're gonna lock him up too? Okay, we'll pass it back to Jason Tatum or Kemba Walker. Then we'll have our center. We'll have Daniel Tice in the paint. Celtics just have so many options. You have a great coach in Brad Stevens. I mean, Nick Nurse is my coach of the year, without a doubt. Nick Nurse is coach of the year, without a doubt. He's my prediction for coach of the year. And along with Billy Donovan, too. Billy Donovan might be coach of the year as well. But that's not the prediction here. The prediction is that the Boston Celtics are going to win in 6 or 7 games. Yeah, I usually like to be standard with my predictions, but I can't really decide on this one. The Raptors are a good team, so they could take them to 70 games for sure. Now, we have the West second round. West second round, we got the Lakers versus OKC. Now, this is going to be an easy game. I mean, I wouldn't say easy because OKC has beat the Los Angeles Lakers before. Actually, a couple days ago, they beat the Los Angeles Lakers. But the playoffs are completely different. Now, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. Damn, we're already at like 32 minutes now. I gotta speed this video up. But the Los Angeles Lakers, they're too good of a team compared to OKC in the playoffs. And I believe this is where the OKC dream season or their miracle season comes to an end in 5 games. 5 games, that's what I'm saying. 5 games. The Los Angeles Lakers will beat the OKC Thunder just because you have LeBron James, you have Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard. I mean, come on. You have Rajon Rondo. You have Dion Waiters, who can be a good player also. The Lakers just have so many options, and I don't see the OKC Thunder doing anything about that at all. So the Lakers will be advancing to the Western Conference Finals. I do need some water. Just give me a second here. Alright, now I'm good. Now we have the Clippers versus the Jazz. Clippers sweep. Clippers are going to sweep the Utah Jazz. Maybe the Utah Jazz will get lucky and get one more game and get one game and maybe make it a 5 games, but the Clippers are too good compared to the Utah Jazz. I don't see the Utah Jazz competing that well with the Los Angeles Clippers just because they're too good. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet, but there's nothing else really to say. I mean, I know you have Rudy Gobert, but you also have another tough physical player on Montrezl Harrell. That is not a guy you want to mess with. Montrezl Harrell will give you problems, even for your Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. But yeah, Montrezl Harrell is going to give Rudy Gobert problems. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, I just talked about them, what they could do. Yeah, you have Patrick Beverley coming back. All these guys. Lou Williams coming off the bench. But, yeah, that's going to be a very, I wouldn't say easy series for the Clippers, but it'll be a sweep. The Clippers will sweep the Utah Jazz. Now, we're going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. We got the Bucks versus the Celtics. Now, I got the Bucks winning this. The Bucks winning this in 6 games. Why 6 games? Because sorry, this is a fly down here. It always, like, whenever I'm playing 2K or doing something like this, it always comes on my way. I don't know why. But I say 6 games because Boston is a good team. They What the Raptors did last year to stop Giannis, they put a wall. Like, you had Kawhi Leonard. Oh, you're gonna get past him. Pascal Siakam. You're gonna get past him. Marc Gasol. These guys. Then you had Serge Ibaka. You had a whole wall. I'm sorry, this fly's very annoying. Um, they had a whole wall, and the Boston Celtics are gonna have to do something similar to that, but I don't think they have the assets to stop Giannis like how the Raptors did. Um, I, yeah, I just don't see the Boston Celtics going to the NBA Finals. I don't see them getting past the Milwaukee Bucks. So I have the Milwaukee Bucks heading to the NBA Finals. Now, the Western Conference Finals matchup that everyone wants to see, including me. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. The Battle of LA in Orlando. I got the Lakers. I don't want to be biased, but let me break it down for you here. I'm sorry. My bad. You got... Okay, let me tell you guys something about the playoffs, okay? Your bench players probably... They don't play a lot of minutes. They'll play maybe 10 minutes maximum. Your starters are going to play about 40 minutes. There's 48 minutes in a basketball game. Now, we think about the starters on both teams. Now, everyone talks about the depth of Los Angeles Clippers, the depth. And as I said, the bench really only plays like 10 minutes in the playoffs. So we're really going to think about the starters here. Okay. KCP, I hope he shows up as a Lakers fan. You know, maybe he could show up. I don't know. I haven't seen him in the playoffs before. LeBron, you have LeBron James. We know what he could do. Amazing player, obviously. Anthony Davis, another top 5 player. JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, all these guys are going to give problems. Now, you could contain LeBron, but who do you have to guard Anthony Davis? You're not going to put Montrezl Harrell on him. I mean, Montrezl Harrell, he could try and contain Anthony Davis, but it's not going to work out. Montrezl Harrell is just, compared to Anthony Davis, he's just too small. You know, Anthony Davis is just going to take Montrezl Harrell into the paint. He's going to be too good, especially on the perimeter. For a guy that height, for Anthony Davis, he can move pretty quick. He can handle the ball pretty well. And yeah, he's just an amazing player all around, and I don't think Montrezl Harrell can contain him. I mean, obviously you have Kawhi and Paul George who can try and contain LeBron. Then again, you have other options in Anthony Davis and those guys. So yeah, and Danny Green, he usually pops up in the playoffs. Regular season, I don't know what he's been doing the past few games, but you have Danny Green who will pop up in the playoffs. Now, I got the Los Angeles Lakers winning in 7 games. 7 games. That's what I want to see the series go to, because this is just going to be a fun series. But at the end of the day, the Los Angeles Lakers will win in 7 games and head to the NBA Finals to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the NBA Finals. The Lakers versus the Bucks. Los Angeles versus Milwaukee. I got the Lakers winning. And I'll say 5 games. 5 or 6 games between there. And why? Because, like I mentioned, Toronto last year, they had that wall. And I said Boston, they didn't have those assets to build that wall to stop Giannis. The Lakers, they have that wall. You have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis, you have JaVale McGee, you have Dwight Howard. That's a whole wall right there that you have to get by. Oh, he's gonna try and get by LeBron. Sure, Anthony Davis is there. Oh, there's JaVale. Oh, there's Dwight. You got so many big guys, big bodies that can stop Giannis, and it's gonna be hard for him. Then you have good perimeter defender in Danny Green who can stop Chris Middleton on the outside. Then Chris Bledsoe, he's not really much of a shooter. He likes to drive in, and then you could put a body on him too. You could put bodies on him too, and then you have Giannis there, who's gonna try and get the ball also in the paint, and it's not gonna work out good for the Milwaukee Bucks against the Lakers. Yeah, it's just not gonna go well. So that's my prediction. I have the Los Angeles Lakers winning NBA final. I'll say 6 games in the NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Lakers will be your NBA champions. And that is gonna do it for these predictions. I'm at 40 minutes now. I didn't want this video to be this long. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys disagreed with anything I said, which I'm pretty sure you did, I'm pretty sure you didn't agree with everything I said. So if you disagreed with things that I said, let me know in the comments, and we could debate. We could, have fun with debating. But if you're gonna take it personal, then don't comment. I don't have time for you. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. But obviously, most important thing in the world today, obviously staying safe, socially distancing, but the most important thing in the world today is stay cool. I'm out.